Greeting interwebs, this is Jack. Greeting interwebs, this is Jackie K, and welcome for another edition of Game and Chill. TBH, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna commentate, but I have been having an itching to play, so I'm just gonna go do the usual things I do when I get around to playing this. And if I feel like commentating, we'll commentate, otherwise I'll post commentate over the B-roll. Let's hop into it. First off, shame I don't think there could be any A-Pomps in here, but I figured I might as well check it out anyways. So, I guess I can start off with video stuff. No concrete video plan this month, though I can talk a little bit about what I have and do plan to upload, assuming that hasn't been uploaded already. Easiest thing I can talk about is I do not have plans to do any more Pokemon Champion videos anytime soon. I had a whole post about it on Blue Sky a while back. And on the YouTube Community tab. YouTube Community tab. But hold that thought. Good thing I decided to put the mic up even if I wasn't sure if I was going to talk while playing today. Really was tempted to just have a casual play session and relive the good old days, but you know, always worth to have the mic on to catch that type of reaction. I saw it even before the sparkles. Yeah, it's been like 2 million years. There it is. But I'm pretty sure it's the first time I've seen a shiny Scrooby in this game. Well, minus the grand fail that happened way too back to even number. Come on, little buddy. Hold still. We can work this out without conflict. Just turn around and let me hit you in the back. Nice. Point being, like, I'm pretty sure this is the Pokemon that, like, I saw in the Mass Outbreak, like, eons ago, off recording. But I died during the Mass Outbreak. And there's always been a thought in my mind of wanting to reclaim that ever since. You can tell that it was so long ago because I actually died during the Mass Outbreak. Now, is that the earliest that I've gotten a shiny Pokemon on a Game & Chill, or is that the earliest I've gotten a shiny Pokemon on a Game & Chill? Because it sure feels like it. And I thought, like, the shiny luck we had last time was pretty crazy. Now it's gonna take me another 5 minutes in order to regain my composure enough to talk. Ah well, at least we got something cool out of this. Man, and this wasn't even... I wonder if I ran my luck too early, because we're not even at this group we checked that had the possible outbreak. Or the possible alpha wave. Ah well. A shiny is a shiny, especially of a cool one like that. And I guess if you play the game long enough, you definitely run into something silly. But that seemed pretty far up there. So yeah, to catch up. No plans to do any Pokemon Champions videos anytime soon. I would say never, but I'll admit the new wave has tempted me to come back. But if I'm good to myself, there will never be another Pokemon Champions video on the channel. That's how, let's call it burnout. That's how burnout I got by the game the last time I picked it up. It's a shame because it's the most recent Pokemon game and I don't have any plans to pick up the upcoming winds and waves. But it's also a little too early to really say. You know, those flowers in the back I almost mistook for a shiny A-Pom. You can kind of tell that I got the sparkles all over my brain. Half the reason I went here, despite not really having too much interest. was to like do my usual palm tree checks for that one particular reason. Oh, I was thinking that Honchkrow for like a black Mothim. And I was like, wait, can a shiny normally be that color? Speaking of which, oh wait, this is one of the trees that Apon can show up in. Nice! I gotta be... That's the second time I peeked out the mic. I definitely have my Audacity set up to be too sensitive. The point being though, we got a shiny and an Apon check in a single video. That's like a new record or something for good luck. No. I've had crazier luck. But it's a good omen for this video at the very least. Now I just gotta start talking. Okay, awesome. We're at 10. Only 5 more to go. With the 400 plus hours I put into this game, we'll be done with Apom in no time. So yeah, maybe I can start talking about what will be uploaded, or plan to be uploaded. I ended up taking a bit of a break from Kirby Air Riders. I'll admit, I forget off the top of my head what I was doing instead. But now that that's kind of sorted out... Oh yeah, trying to get back into making game design videos. I'll talk about that in a bit. But now that that's done, I got back to editing Kirby Air Rider videos, only to realize that I kind of like deleted the commentary files for a bunch of stuff, mistakenly thinking that I already made those the video, so I didn't use the audio files anymore. The good news is right around that time we got a new Air Riders event, so I didn't have to really worry about missing out on anything. I could just record the new Kirby Air Riders event and do that instead. Which you've probably seen at least one of the videos by now. Because I already have them scheduled, and even if I record all this tonight, it'll probably take me a week or so before I finish editing for this video. So it's been nice to get back into Kirby Air Riders, especially considering it's been so long since we've had a Kirby Air Riders event that actually took place in City Trial. There's been so many Top Ride and Air Ride events, and they've been nice, especially for a change of pace, but I have been finding myself missing the City Trial events, so it's nice to have one of those. It's a shame that like the next one coming up, it goes back to the normal Air Ride, and it's a repeat of a similar event. Like, it seems like a new theme with, at the very least, new rewards. But not only did I already make a video of that event, it seems, if I recall correctly, it was a very recent video that I uploaded. Like, within the past month, if even that. Oh yeah. And the other thing video-wise I want to talk about was, I got into this cool game called Sculplings, and more recently, I did do a little stream of it. It sucks because I really enjoyed the game, but the stream quality was probably one of the lesser video qualities that I've had in a while, and of course, unfortunately, like, my system to like try to get better video quality doesn't really apply for didn't really work for this, so I only have the terrible stream audio quality for that playthrough, and yet I decided to edit it into a not just one but 2 videos. I did my best to try to make it bearable, so we'll see if that pans out. But it makes me want to do another stream / recording of that game, if only so I can redeem myself. For a game that's kind of so small that there's barely anyone doing videos on it, I don't feel like my video's gonna do the game justice, especially considering how much higher in quality my video making usually is. It's like not only a bad first impression of the game, but of me and the channel. And we all know that I'm not exactly pressing... I wouldn't say that I'm the worst video creator on the platform, but... well, there's a reason that it took over a decade just to get 1,000 subscribers on here. I don't get like the high studio quality. That's the word I'm really looking for. I'm just gonna have to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do for a new Sculplings video because I played the game a lot off-screen. It makes an excellent treadmill game. And I gotta admit, I've actually beaten the entire game. Like, it's a roguelike, but it has like 5 different runs you can do. And I've already beaten the final run. Granted, I'm still gonna play because it's a fun game. And the roguelike elements, like, allow for nice replayability. Especially because I think I'm actually gonna go out of my way to get all of the achievements in it. Which would make it the first game in my Steam library that I actually got all achievements for. I'm not too far away either. I'm like there's only like 2 achievements I don't have yet. And I already got the toughest achievement in the game out of the way. The only 2 achievements I have left is to complete a run with all Sculplings of the same type, and just collecting every single Sculplings throughout various logs. Maybe I should explain what Sculplings is, because that will make it easier to explain the achievements and the like. I see the snowball stuck in my inventory, and I'm reminded of counter circles. Yeah, this game's really consumed my life if I like am mistaking a item in Legends Arceus for something in Sculplings. So, Sculplings is a game made by a small indie team. It's best way to describe it is a creature collector roguelike, where you got the elements similar to Pokemon of like collecting creatures and battling them, but it's put in like the run format where you like every time you play is a new playthrough. You do. Yeah. Why am I blanking out on just very bare aspects of a roguelike? And trying to combine it with a creature collector. So you got the same stuff that's in a lot of other creature collectors, especially Pokemon. Like, collecting creatures to put on your team, and then battling with them. But one of the biggest gimmicks is that you're doing it in a roguelike setting, so if you're familiar with like the Pokemon fan games, like... Hold on, I got a witch to bish. I'm trying to think of one rhyme and I just did an unnecessary swear instead. Hi! I can't believe I censored myself by saying witch and then I just ended up using the other word instead. Dang, the stupid stash that I want to get, I can see in the freaking battle. Well, at least this Rhydon's gonna make it like an easy bell dance spam, which I need to do for some research anyways. I guess that's what I get for trying to turn beat into a word that rhymed with witch. I limited my options very quickly. At least this should put me right next to the satchel that I've been trying to collect this whole time. As I've been trying to say, Sculplings is a creature collector game with a lot of similar elements to Pokemon, where you progress through the game by collecting various creatures and then battling with them, with the gimmick that is in a roguelike setting, where every run you start fresh, so you don't even get to keep any of the Sculplings that you gather throughout a run. That's not as bad as it sounds, so. And you have to make your way through various areas, battling wild Sculplings to collect them, and then capturing them. And then, like, at the end of every area, you fight a trainer with that particular world, which has multiple areas, ending with a boss fight. You do that like 3 times, and make it to the fearsome 5, which are like the bosses. Since we're kind of been dancing around Pokemon terms, best equivalent is the Elite Fours. So you go through a run, you beat a super strong Tamer? I forget if the Sculpling's equivalent is Tamer or Trainer. You can tell what parts of the game I actually pay attention to. Yeah. And you got a few of your other staple roguelike gimmicks, such as collecting stuff, or like getting passes in the forms of pins. They're kind of random in each run, but like allow you to have different synergies, and it works pretty well with like collecting the creatures, because like one run I might have like a bunch of passive pins or passives that like heal me every single turn or something. And if that's the case, I might want to go for Sculplings to have a bit more of a defensive bulk to synergize with the health. Not to mention that like it also carries the element of roguelites, where when you win or regardless of if you win or lose a run, you keep the money that you earned, and you can use that money in between runs to either like choose what sort of, to either like buy new Sculplings that can appear in future runs, or various items that will be added into the pool of items to get within a run. And both of those things can work to your advantage to make runs easier and easier. Not to mention, the further you progress through the game, every time you beat one of the Fearsome 5, you'll be able to choose various pins and emblems to start a run with. Between you and me, my personal favorite is the Farmer emblem. It's essentially like gives you passives. For a second there I thought like I triggered a fight, but it didn't immediately take me into battle, but no. Just guessing's a little backwards. Also, I have a talent. A Star Raptor, excuse me, trying to annihilate me. How dare I mix up my birds? I don't know if my word descriptions quite do it justice. Best way I can summarize it is like, if you've seen some of the stuff I've done with Pokemon Emerald Rogue on the channel, but want something with more original creatures, or at the very least just a really charming art style. I never even got around to the fact that like one of the biggest draws in the game is that one of the creators of the game created literally every art asset, from creature to items to environments. They handmade it out of clay and just like took pictures of the clay figures that they made and inserted them into the game. So like, it has a fun art style, and it only comes out like that because everything is literally handcrafted. Plus I find it kind of funny, like the way that they made the clay figures kind of gives everything a little bit of a derpy feel, and the writing of the game kind of plays into that from what I've experienced. I don't even want to spoil too much about like the creatures or the writing in the game in general. It's funny, and a lot of the jokes will land a lot better. I think the element of surprise, both in what the creatures are and how the writing is, only makes it more fun. Still, if I haven't sold you on it yet, I'm guessing one of the two Sculpling videos that I have made will be up by the time this game show comes around. Might not be, but if it is, I'll be sure to include it via video card. Just ignore all the parts where I talk about how terrible, how much I sucked with actually making the video. Do I go the right path for money, or do I go the left path for more Sculpling encounters? Oh, it's Drago! The death toll should be able to do the job, so like 3 rests, 1 poison attack, and a swap. That takes us to turn 5. But if I can like finish it off with a Dragon Feast, that would be better, because I get the full heal. Perfect! Alright, and I forgot that just like fully healed me. Awesome! We got Drago up to a 2nd stage already. Yeah. Does this now count as a nose? Screw it. Let the Reaper take your soul. I'm gonna just buff up to the point that I'm completely invulnerable by the time you get knocked out. I was hoping for a little more time to set up, but we'll work with it. One day I'll make a Sculpling video that will do it justice. I really just had to make this one because it was like the one time I live recorded beating one of the Fearsome 5s for my first time. So I thought that alone made for a pretty fun concept for a video, especially because most people who have made videos for the game only really like cover the first area. Cover up to the first boss, because they're doing first impressions and then just move on. I want to give the game a little more justice than that. But, like I said, I beat the entire game, so I gotta come up with a gimmick or something to make for a fun video concept. Maybe I'll like try to record that all-team run that I still have to do for a Steam achievement. Or maybe I'll just try another solo run, even though I already got the achievement for it, because I think I got... if only to see if the strat that I came up with to do that pretty easily, that would be a good test to see if it's a fluke or not. Actually, in hindsight, maybe I should have gone back to the Coastlands so I could check out the Chansey and get another chance at Apom, but I've been procrastinating resuming the video pretty long as is. Let's make this work out. So yeah, the only other thing I can really think of to talk about are the game design videos. After like 6 months since the last one, I finally got back into making it, and I made 2 at once. And I say that's pretty good, though I can already tell that I'm not going to be consistent with it, because I feel like I'm definitely going to need a bit of time in between videos before I can have any more ready to go, because even with just like putting them together last minute on prompt, that still took a bit of time in and of itself. Cool, one of them sees me so much for getting for all that One Piece. So yeah, even though it was nice to kind of get back into things by making some game design videos, I think I'm gonna need some more time before I can make any more. Here's the thing with game dev videos. The more time I put into making the videos, the more I think about how I could just be using that time to work on my game dev instead. I don't know how to keep up with both making a game and making videos for the said game, because for me it feels like one gets in the way of the other. I suppose it helps that for a lot of them, they can do it as part of their job. And even if that wasn't the case, it doesn't help that I divide my time up between so many different things as it is. It's kind of crazy I get anything done. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like half the reason why my own game dev journey is going so much slower than the average solo developer. Not to mention like all the hurdles of solo developer and like having a full-time day job. Let's not dwell too much on that too much. Like, part of the reason I'm playing this game is to distract myself from how that day went. Dang, I like had all this insightful stuff I wanted to talk about that I was thinking about talking about while setting up for this recording session. And now that I'm actually playing, my mind has just gone complete blank, full zen, and it's out of my system. Until I can think of it though, I can at least talk a little bit about the stuff that I've done since those videos. Like, as much as I want to go forward and make some new levels and new worlds for the game, along the way of trying to like make stuff to actually do in those new levels, I've gone back to some previous levels. I've made more of a bit of a distinction between Nayla and Sarah's gameplay. Like, there's the way I have distincting Nayla levels from Sarah levels is that I have the same level file for both of them, but I just have some code that goes like, hey, before you start the game, check each character and check the specific section of my game code that I specifically have for the Sarah, for the added Sarah stuff and the added Nayla stuff. And then, like, if Sarah's in play, delete all the Nayla stuff, and if Nayla's in play, delete all the Sarah stuff. And, like, it might have been smarter from the beginning to just make one Sarah level and one Nayla level, but I thought it was being clever and efficient by doing the prior. And while I haven't completely abandoned the prior, I'm going to be starting to implement the latter and some more complex stuff where, like, I want to just, for levels where I want to not just add, like, 1 or 2 extra obstacles for one character or the other, but want to just completely rehaul the level to better fit the character, yeah, that's gonna be a new level from now on. And like a lot of the time I spent the past couple weeks was trying to make code to accommodate the level select for that, so like you don't see like every single, so you don't see the Zero exclusive levels while playing as Nayla and vice versa, and fixing all the bugs that inevitably came up from doing that. It's been a mess, but at least it hasn't been a frustrating mess like some of the previous messes I've had to deal with. It's just been time consuming more than anything. And like I said, I'm sure there was so many other stuff that I want to talk about, but I'm just drawing a blank. So I do want to finish up this massive mass outbreak before ending off the video, so I'll just cut it here. If I think of anything cool, I'll start talking again. Of course, if anything fun happens with the gameplay, you'll see that as well. Not that I'm banking on another shiny Pokemon, considering how lucky we were at the beginning of the video, but hey, you never know. I remember one of the things I wanted to talk about. Just the fact that I would love to make a video about every little thing I do in the game. Even if no one watches them, it'd be good for just to document my progress with my game development for personal reference. If only so I can reflect back on how much more I've improved the more time I put into it. But setting the time aside to like record a video for every little thing I do is very time consuming. I just can't really find too many ways to justify it. That might be part of the reason why there was a whole 6-month hiatus between videos. Jet Ball's OP. Please never nerf. You know, I was thinking about it, and I have a new Pipedream. Like, even more crazy and ambitious of a dream from a Nintendo Direct than anything Golden Sun related. Don't let the Golden Sun fans hear that. But yeah, like, I think, like, the joke... I think, like, my quote-unquote joke prediction for every Nintendo Direct going forward is a Switch 2 edition of this game, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I mean, there's already the argument that, like, Jackie K, no. That sort of a Pokemon-related thing would be in the Pokemon Direct. But hey, I mean, we got Poketopia DLC of all things in the latest Direct. If it's far enough away from Pokemon Present season, I guess adding Pokemon-related news isn't impossible for Nintendo Direct. But I'm getting sidetracked, like... The point being... I would love any sort of update to this game. Just because I've been vibing with it so much more than Legends ZA. But unfortunately, Legends ZA is a new hotness. And that Winds and Wave game is in the horizons, no pun intended. So... Legends Arceus just feels inevitably something that's going to be lost to time. It's a shame because, like, the one flaw that I personally have with this game is some of the visuals. And it's not even enough to deter me, obviously. I've had a lot of fun in the past just, like, going, ha! Look at the silly glitchy thing that happened in this game. Every now and then when it happens. But you've probably seen in the past of just how the frame rate can be when there's when there's a Pokemon really far out in the distance. And someday maybe that's like the one thing that makes this game feel dated to me. A Switch 2 update seems like it would inevitably fix that, because you would have better frame rate for everything in general. If they can fix Scarlet and Violet with a Switch 2 update in terms of performance, they can definitely fix any little flaws that, at least those that are frame rate related, that this game still has. And I'll take any sort of addition to this game wherever I can get it. I'm sure that's not the first time I've talked about that. I'm sure it won't be the last time I talked about it. But still, it's on my mind, so it's getting brought up. I hope I'm not too late to actually, like, cash in on the Clefus. Where are they anyways? Did I, like, totally miss them? You know, it's like, cause, like, That's like the one thing I could actually still use though. Getting like the berries. Oh, there they are. I don't know if I even have enough time to get them, and more importantly, I just realized like these little fellas run, and I just like spooked all of them at once. Oh man, did the rain just like clear up at the literal last second? Oh well, at least there's enough on screen that I can get back the berries that I used for this run, or of Massive Mass Outbreaks. Just barely though, I think. This is 3, 4... No, a little shy. That's fine. I have like a bazillion Aqualung berries. We'll have more opportunities to restock on them in the future, I suppose. Yeah, like I promised, I wanted to just finish up this Massive Mass Outbreak and then end off the video. Goal was to try to have a little shorter of a game and show, but we all know how often that actually pans out. Still, we did get that cool shiny Skarubi, and I do want to show it off, so give me a sec to go get it. There it is! And I would say there's more than a month apart between the two, but unfortunately that's just because it's been that long since I last played Pokemon Legends Arceus. The last time I played the game was the last time I recorded a game show. But I probably still play this game more frequently than the average Pokemon fan, which is a shame, but oh well. Alright, where's a good spot to flaunt you? It would have been cool if I actually did this in the coastland itself, but it's fine. Hi, little fella. It's been a while since I've actually... I take these screenshots, but it's been a while since I've actually shared them online. It just never has been quite as convenient as it used to be, ever since Nintendo pretty much shut down their compatibility with Twitter. Switch 2 has made it more convenient, to be fair, but not quite as convenient as it used to be. Especially because, like a Blue Sky, I feel like you always have to write out alt text for any image you post, otherwise you risk the Blue Sky police. Anyways, not the best note to end off on, but not the worst. I've been Jackie K. Thank you all for tuning in for another edition of Game & Chill. Hopefully it's not too much shorter than your average one. But I am recording on a work day, so it would be nice to settle in a bit before I have to settle in for bed. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all for the next one. Take care.